Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Silik and we hope everybody is off to a great start for firearm deer season. This week we are all out in the woods covering the deer opener, but we do have some brand new footage for you this week. No surprise, both Gabe Van Wormer and Jordan Brown were able to put some tags on some beautiful bucks recently during archery season. We'll show you how those hunts unfolded, and Jimmy's got some other action in store for us this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a couple more things on this week's show. If you caught the show last week, we spent some time with a West Michigan gun club to see what they were doing to reach out to their community. Well, on this week's show, we're going to see that same gun club partner with the local high school to take kids out hunting. And we'll have our annual Palace in the Popple poem to get you deer hunters excited for this time of the year. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. The Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com. By Walker's Creek Event Venue at Double D Ranch. Located in the central Michigan town of Lake, Walker's Creek offers an outdoor setting for weddings, corporate events, and more. Walker's Creek Event Venue, wcvenue.com.
This moment brought to you by DTE's Clean Vision.
With October in the rear view, I was excited for the first couple weeks of November and what can be some of the best bow hunting of the entire year.
Usually never sit the edge of a field like this in the morning just because it's hard to get into, and it's usually better in the evening, but got up really early this morning. I sat in the dark for about an hour on the edge of this beef field, and so far it's paying off. A lot of deer come through right at first light. I've already passed up 4 bucks and seen a couple others, mostly little bucks. Haven't seen anything real nice yet, but a couple decent 2-year-olds and a bunch of does. It's been a great morning. It's foggy, it's cold, it's just beautiful out. Now we just need one of the big ones to show up.
As luck would have it, one of the big bucks did show up, way out in the bean field, but headed my way. Just as I was getting ready to take the shot, the buck started to angle away from my tree, and by the time I got the camera moved, he was already out of range. Thankfully, a few minutes later, he wandered by the other side of the tree at about 30 yards.
Well, it's hard to even find the words. That buck that came by this morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, is a buck that I have a ton of pictures of. A buck I know from last year. I have one of his sheds. I haven't seen him all year. That was the first time I've seen him in person. And he was out on the bean field at 11 o'clock. I don't know if he got spooked or what, but I grunted at him. He came all the way into about 40 yards, trying to get the camera around and just trying to guess where he's going to go. And it looked like he was going to walk right to the base of the tree. He did not. He was probably within 40 yards of my tree for 10 minutes. You know, a good chunk of that was super thick. I couldn't shoot, but that's tough.
The first week of November was full of good encounters, just not with the buck I was looking for. But all of that was about to change on November 7th, when I had another encounter with the Big 8 from the week before.
Well, what time is it? 2:48 in the afternoon. And you can probably guess why I got the camera out. I was walking into my tree stand tonight. It's November 7th. Super high pressure. What you dream about all year long. It's loud and crunchy, so I was just really taking my time. And spotted a doe with a couple of bucks chasing her. I was able to sneak up, and one of the bucks was pretty big. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the Big 8 I've been chasing. I think I just arrowed him walking to my tree stand at 2:30, 2:45 in the afternoon. I'm gonna sneak up here in a few minutes and see what we see. Look for the arrow first and see if I can find this deer. There he is. Did not make it far. Anytime you kill a nice buck here in Michigan with a bow it's a big deal and something you should celebrate, because it's not easy and doesn't come every year. But getting to do it from the ground is always special. And like I said, I'm bummed it's not on camera, because I've had some opportunities this year that I passed up because they weren't on camera, and I work really hard at trying to make sure I do the best I can when it comes to that. But the day I pass up a shot from the ground on a big buck with my bow and arrow is probably the day I stopped doing it. It was an awesome experience. A quick, clean kill, which is always very important to me. Hit the buck perfectly, died in seconds. Had no idea what happened. This is a buck I have a lot of history with. A shed from last year. Lots of pictures and videos of him last year. He got a little busted up on one side, but and then into this year, you know, from summer on, I've had pictures of him. He's been my most consistent buck as far as trail cam goes, but I've only seen him twice. Once last week when I couldn't get him to stop and could have shot him off camera, but decided to wait, and then today on my way in. So he's been pretty elusive, even though I've had, you know, lots of pictures and videos of him. He's everything I thought he was. A big deer, big neck, big head on him. That's kind of the pinnacle for a bow hunter here in Michigan. And
Sweet November was good to me, and I'm thankful to have filled another buck tag here in Michigan. While I was busy chasing deer in the center of the state, a little further east, Gabe Van Wormer was having a pretty good deer season as well.
So this should be interesting. It's my first time ever hunting water. Specifically, we just have so much water in this area that it's usually not feasible to get it anywhere. Right now, there's only a couple spots, and this happens to be one of them within hundreds of yards of here. There's no other spots with water in it. The creek is dry. I could not believe it. I've never seen that creek dry, but it's dry. So, hopefully these deer keep hitting it. Hopefully there's a big buck in here somewhere. Try to be quiet because there's some more does around here, and there's a buck that just went by behind me here. But man, it's been a good morning. I've had deer after deer come by. My arrow's stuck in the ground right there because she walked in perfect, absolutely perfect, and she's down right over there. These are a new set of broadheads I've got from Cold Arrow Archery right here in Michigan, which is kind of cool to be using Michigan-made stuff. This longbow was made right here in Michigan. The Selway quiver was made right here in Michigan. Now the broadheads are as well, so that was kind of neat. This doe is a little bittersweet. This week we lost a good friend, Dave Bott, and all my dad's friends were hunters and taught me something over the years about hunting. But Dave was one of the inspirations behind stick bow hunting. He was one of those guys that everybody in the community knew that he hunted with a stick bow, with a long bow or a recurve. And I'll tell you what, I always marveled at how he did that, and it was one of the inspirations for me doing it. And so for the last 10, 11 years, I've been hunting with a stick bow, and Dave Bott is to thank for that. I'll tell you what, couldn't have happened any better. This one's for you, Dave. That was my opportunity right there. He came across the trail at about 18 yards or so. But unfortunately, there's a couple little limbs right there, and he walked right across, and I thought maybe he'd come right down in front of me. That was the second shooter I've seen this morning. That was not the same one as came through earlier. That was a different buck. You don't get a whole lot of opportunities, and it's hard to miss them like that. This is a really good crossing spot. There's a bedding area behind me and a bedding area in front of me, and these deer like to crisscross through here. It's kind of a crapshoot whether they're going to be in close enough for me to shoot, but when they are, it works out well. I gotta be careful because these 2 bucks are still right here. They're searching. Hopefully a big one comes by. It's been a long season. I've had one of the best seasons I've ever had. And I've got a buck down right there. Oh my goodness. It is so awesome. I'm so excited. Oh man, it happened quick. As always during the rut, it happens quick. And I can see him right there. He probably ran 30 yards, zipped it right through him. He only ran about 30 yards and then tipped over. That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you, Lord. Well, there he is. That's about as best as I can do. I'm the only one out here, so self-taping. Shot this buck. He was about the 7th or 8th buck I saw this morning, and it happened really quickly. He came in, I could see him coming, and I saw those white antlers, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna shoot it. And made a good shot and watched him fall. That was so cool. Very neat. That's awesome. I couldn't be happier.
Well, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you caught the show last week, we did a story on a West Michigan gun club and what they're doing to reach out to their community. Well, on this week's show, we're going to show you what it looks like when that same gun club partners with the high school to take kids out hunting, for many of them, for the very first time.
Last week was a pretty rare event. The local public high school here in Grand Haven offers a class called Outdoor Ed. Part of that class is taking hunter safety and also offered as a chance to go hunting with live birds. As you would imagine, safety is front and center.
The outside people can swing up to 90 degrees this way, but only about 30 degrees this way. So they got a little bigger field of fire, but no turning around, swinging behind you. Next one is, if it's low, let it go. It's got to see sky. We don't want.
Well, the kids were ready to hit the fields, and I think some were just as excited to ride in the back of a pickup to the hunting fields. As we got going, I got a little more info from Derek Warner, the teacher making all this happen.
So I've got 3 classes coming out from Grand Haven High School from the outdoor education program to do a chucker hunt. This is kind of the capstone event from our 2-week hunter safety unit we did at the North Ottawa Rod and Gun Club. Beautiful day today. Kids are excited. I got a great group of adults out here helping, and it makes it so much smoother and so much safer for the kids.
And how many years have you guys been doing this?
I think this is our 6th year here at Olive Acres. Year 17 for me at the high school, but outdoor ed and hunter safety has been a thing since before I took over. So long-standing tradition at Grand Haven High School.
And what do the kids that don't hunt think of a day like this?
Well, I had a bunch out here this morning. I specifically asked them. They all had fun. They thought it was interesting. They loved watching the dogs work. They just enjoyed being out here and just kind of getting their first experience.
And how important are the volunteers on a day like this?
It's crucial. Like I've sent emails and texts. Without these people here, there's no way I could pull this off. It's so much safer having everybody here, and just the volume of hunting knowledge and safe gun handling is awesome.
And do some of these kids kind of take off and do a little hunting then after this?
That will definitely happen. I've actually had some parents stop me either at like the grocery store or at parent-teacher conferences saying that they're so excited their kid got their Orange Hunter safety card. They're going to go up north with them, or grandma and grandpa, or maybe a cousin or a friend to do their first hunting experience for deer season coming up. So yeah, definitely that adds to that for sure.
Nice job.
All right, baby. Yeah.
Man, you're hunting during a school day. Doesn't get much better than this.
With 3 different classes coming out today, there are going to be close to 50 to 60 kids getting a chance, in most cases, to actually see hunting up close and personal for the first time.
And Kurt, what's going on here today? How'd you get involved in this?
Well, this is the chucker hunt being put on by the Grand Haven Outdoor Ed class, and it's kind of sponsored by the North Ottawa Rod Gun Club. We put the kids through hunter safety at the club, and now they get a chance to come out and shoot live birds.
And how long you guys been doing this?
About 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get involved?
I got involved about 9 years ago. My son actually took the outdoor ed class and came back and said, Dad, maybe we ought to get some shotguns.
Oh! Good job! Wow!
And so we bought a pair of 870s, went out to the club, started shooting, and really took off. And now I'm the club president and have a bird dog and get out hunting all the time.
It was all because of this class?
Exactly, all this class.
Wow. That's pretty nice you guys have the conservation officers here. Do they like being here? Or?
Oh yes, they come help us in the outdoor, in the pistol range when we're training the kids with a pistol. They come help us with it. And then some also show up when we're doing the shotguns, but they're a great benefit to the club. Along with the, we have a few police officers that show up when we do the pistol and rifles to help us, because we need a lot of help when we're training these kids. We want to keep everything safe and secure, and they do a great job doing it.
There is always more shooting than connecting on a hunt like this, and that is okay. For folks to see bird dogs work and get a chance to shoot at a bird on the wing, well, it's hopefully a way to get new folks into the shooting sports.
Oh! There you go.
Your bird? Mine. So what do you do with it? That's my bird.
I'll take my bird. You hold it up on the neck and talk to Jimmy about it.
It was a tag team effort.
Tag team.
He got it too.
Nice shooting, guys. Well done.
That's good.
Took the leg off it.
It was a great day. With so many kids here, there was only 3 guns loaded per group, the 2 farthest out and 1 in the middle. Once a student got a chance to fire a round, they would rotate out and become a walker. Kids got multiple chances to shoot, and some did connect on their first bird. With so many volunteers and conservation officers on hand, the event was safe and a lot of fun. I am not aware of any other high schools in the state that do a program where kids get hands-on shooting of rifles, shotguns, and pistols, as well as a live bird hunt. Maybe that will change, but at least here today, new folks were introduced to what many of us hold so dear, right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thank you so much for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Hopefully everybody is off to a safe and successful firearm deer season. If you were successful and you're looking for a place to show off your buck, this Sunday from 2 to 6 p.m., I'll be in Elmont at the Country Smokehouse interviewing hunters there as they bring their deer through. And if we don't see you there, we'll see you here next week.
Well, to end this week's show, we are going to show you our annual Palace in the Popple poem. This is a poem that hung in the deer camp that I grew up in, and it's one that really captures what deer camp is all about.
It's a smoky, raunchy boar's nest with an unswept, drafty floor, with pillow-ticking curtains and knife scars in the door. The smell of a pine knot fire from a stovepipe that's come loose mingles sweetly with the boot grease and the Copenhagen snooze. There are work-worn 30-30s with scratched and battered stocks and drying lines of long johns and steaming, pungent socks. There's a table for the bloody four and their game of two-card draw. There's deep and dreamless sleeping on bunk ticks stuffed with straw. Frank's been drafted for cook again and is peeling some spuds for stew, while Bruce wanders by in baggy drawers reciting Dangerous Dan McGrew. Nowhere on earth is fire so warm or coffee so infernal, nor whiskers so stiff, jokes so rich, or where hope blooms so eternal. A guy could live for a solid week in the same old underbritches and walk like a man and spit where he wants and scratch himself where it itches. I tell you boys, there is no place else I'd rather be come fall, where I eat like a bear and sing like a wolf and feel like I'm bull pine tall. In that raunchy cabin up in the north in the land of the deer and the loon, with the tracking snow lying new to the ground at the end of the rutting moon.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
By Jay's Sporting Goods, with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's has been serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971, with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's. On the web at jaysportinggoods.com.
By Showspan, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 12th through 15th at Novi Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, trips, boats, and seminars from top pros. The Ultimate Fishing Show, Novi, January 12th through 15th.
Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow